Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you are here today. So in this video, this is what we're going to be creating today. We are going to be creating this simple, cool slideshow. This is actually part of 5-part series I'm doing on slideshow. And this series is actually for beginners. So if you're a beginner, this is your opportunity to really learn cool stuff. And don't forget, the course project file is down in the link in the description. And let's get to it. The first thing I like to do is to click on our composition and make sure it's at full HD option, which is this. Let me name this to our scene 01, and I'll make this 10 seconds long and I'll click OK. The next I like to do is to create another composition for our image. So I'm going to click this and I'm going to make sure I title this image 01. I can leave this as it is right now. I can always come back and change the settings. I'll click OK. Now I'll go into my image 01, and I'll open up my still folders, which is for my images, and I'm just going to drag this into it. So this image is actually quite large. If I zoom out, can you see how large it is? So I can just click on S and scale it down, something like this, and I'll just fit the screen. Then I'll come to my image here, then I'll duplicate using Ctrl D to duplicate. So I have image 2. I'll double click this, then come inside here, delete this, then bring the second image here. And this is also quite large. So I got this image from unsplash.com. There you can get your free images from that website. So I'll just adjust this till I'm satisfied with it. So like something like this will do. And now I'm done with this. The only reason why I'm doing this is because it's going to be very easy for you to change your image instead of adding animation directly to your images. Let's go. So I'll go back to my scene 1. Let me close this up. Go back to scene 1. Then I'll start creating the circle shapes that drives the animation. I'm going to click this and I'm going to select the ellipse. I'll click this. I'll make sure it is at fill. Then come here, no stroke, and I'll click OK. And then I'm going to just zoom out a little bit and then draw a circle like this, very big circle, because I want you to fill the screen. I'll zoom out. You can see that it's filling the screen like this. So I'll zoom. Let me just change this to, let's say, some kind of green so I can easily recognize it. So I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to uncheck this, then draw another circle. Then I'm going to draw another circle, click and drag, and select my move to select this, then adjust accordingly. So maybe this will just fill this to this point. So I'm change the color of this to, let's say, something like red. Change this to, let's say, pink. Can easily recognize them. So that's one. So I'll click here, duplicate, and drag this one to the side like this. Or change the color of this to maybe we can use blue for this. Change this one to blue. So I'll take this and I'll duplicate. I think I'll make this white. So I'll choose lavender here, and I'm going to change the color of this one to white. Maybe not so white. All these colors, they don't really matter. I just want to be able to easily recognize them. I'm going to take this and I'm going to take this at the edge, then increase the scale a lot, then readjust this at this point. Yeah, maybe something like this will do. So what I would do now is to take everything, put my time indicator at 1 second, highlight everything, press P for position, then set this position animation, then drag this back. Now I'll start with the first one. I'll drag this out here. Let's select this, make sure I solo this, then I'll drag this here, maybe towards the side like this. Then I'll take this, make sure I solo this too as well, then click and drag to this way, then select this, which is the last one, and then this I'll just drag up like this. So of course I'll highlight and I'll do easy ease. I'll go to my graph editor, highlight everything, then have this kind of curve. I'll drag this to the end. So if I play this now, this is what I have. You can see they're all coming at the same time. Let me just check out this solo button there. So what I'll do is I'll stagger them, or I'll make sure this happens here, and this happens here, and this happens here. Let's make sure at least it should happen for half of the time frame within the keyframe. If I play this now, you have something cool like this. So this is like the foundation of our animation for this. So let me just fit the screen and play that for you again. Now I want to start renaming this according to what I'll be using them for. I'm going to select this. I'm going to name this transition matte, because I'm going to use this as transition. Then I'm going to name this glass. Let's say glass 01. I'm going to name this glass blur. It's supposed to be glass 02, but I'll apply blur effect to that. Then I'm going to name this image matte. I'll click out. So now what I need to do, I'll drag in my image 01 and put it here. Let me just solo in my image and solo the first transition matte. All I need to do right now is to toggle switches and mode and do alpha matte. If I play this now, this is what I should have. I have this thing sliding in this way. Now I'll check my first glass effect and I'll click it, and what I want to do, I want to convert this to adjustment layer. I'll toggle switches and mode, then I just click on the icon here. So it will change to adjustment layer, and of course the shape will disappear. But all I need to do now is to apply some effects to this. Go to my effect and presets. I'm going to look for transform. It's under distort. Then I'm going to drop it on the adjustment layer, the shape that I turned into adjustment layer, and I'm just going to change the scale to 105. So as soon as I do that, if I play this now, remember I'm soloing the image 01 and the glass 01. So if I play this now, I have something like this, so which is really cool. The reason why it's giving us this kind of details is because when you apply scale effect to this and we increase it by 5 pixels, so that's why it's giving us this little distortion, which is what we really want. And let me just go back and fit to screen. What I need to do, I want to add more differences to this. I'm going to go to my effect and preset and add tint and drop it in my glass 01. Immediately I do that, I have this black and white, which is really cool. I think I can just leave this as it is. I'll move on to the next one, and what I'm basically going to do, so maybe I just come here, then copy the transform effect here, then go to glass blur, and I will just going to paste effect here. And of course, don't forget to change this to adjustment layer. If I go and play this now too, can you see it's also giving that kind of effect? So if I check out, can you see it's giving that distortion here too as well? In addition to this, I'm going to go to my glass 01 and also copy the tint, Ctrl C, then come to the blur and then paste. Now it's changing the color to black and white as well, which is not what I want. So I'm just going to click on the white values and I'm just going to go to this warm color and then choose something very close to that. And click OK, then go to the dark values. Maybe I'll go to this blue side and I'm just going to select something like dark blue-ish, so it could really look cool. So I have something like this. This is without the tint, this is with the tint. Lastly, I would like to add a blur to this, so I'll select this and come here and type in fast box blur, and I'm going to drop it on the glass blur. Then I'm just going to increase this by 3 pixels and increase this by 9, and of course check repeat each pixel. Now we have this blur very part of this, so if I play this from the beginning now, I have something cool like this, which is great. So for the last one, which is the image matte, what I would do is to duplicate my image. As soon as I do that, it is trying to do a format to the glass, which is not what we want. So I'll just drag it up. For me to be organized, I'll just drag it to where it is here. Let me uncheck this solo button here. So all I need to do is just check this eye button here for the image. By the time I do that, I have something like this. So it slides back down just to clear up this image. Now that is it. But then I'm going to select this image. I'm going to press S. I'm just going to increase this by 5 pixels. So this is 105 and I'll click out. So now if I play this now, I have something like this, which is the foundation of our animation. But you also notice in the example that I gave that we had some stroke on it. So all we need to do is quite simple, or we just need to duplicate the shapes that we use to drive the animation. So I'm going to select glass 01. I'm going to duplicate it and I am going to, instead of fill, I'll take the fill away, then add stroke, and I'll change the stroke color to white. Let me just put this on here. Let me click out. The reason why we're not seeing anything here is because the adjustment layer is checked. So I need to uncheck the adjustment layer as soon as I do that, and I have this stroke effect on it. But there's a problem. So if I zoom in very well, let me pan to this side. Can you see that part of, yes, so it is very obvious. Can you see that it's showing here? The reason that is happening is because the effects are still on it. So I'm going to come here, just uncheck, and I can also uncheck this too. I can just literally delete them actually. So I'll delete, and with that we have a perfect stroke on our matte. Let me just fit to screen again. I'm going to change this to glass 01 stroke. so which is fine. I'm going to take the blur, the one with the blur too, and I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to rename this to glass blur stroke as well, and practically going to do the same. Uncheck this, take away the fill, then add the stroke, 2 pixel, and if I take this, I just need to uncheck all these effects. Can you see it's here? Now the challenge I'm having right now is, as soon as this comes in, I still want this, my stroke, my previous should be showing, but right now this is climbing up. So the simple fix is just stroke 01 and just drag it up. By doing that, it's still going to be revealing. So if I play this, now I have something cool like this. So the last one we need to do is to take the image matte, duplicate, and name this image matte stroke. I'll check this, make sure I can see it, then take away the fill, add the stroke. By so doing, we have the foundation of our animation. We are done with our scene 1. All I need to do is to come here and create our main scene. I'm going to name this main scene. 10 seconds long is fine. Oh, let's just make it 15 seconds long. If we don't need that, we would adjust accordingly. 15 seconds long. This is my main scene. I'll come here now. I would like to do some homekeeping, so I'll come to my comp folder that I've created already. I'm going to drag the image comp into it, and I'm also dragging my scene into the comp, but I won't stop there. I'm going to take my 2 image comp, drag into my folder. I'm just going to name this image comps, and then I'm going to drag this into a new folder. I'm going to name this scene comp. So I'll be organized like this. This is my main scene going to my render comp, which is fine. What I need to do right now is to take my scene 1 and drag into my main scene. Now this is what I have. Now I need to make another scene similar to this so I can form a real scene, and if you want to make it as a template, you can go ahead and do that. Let's do that right now. So I'm going to select scene 1. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to open scene 2 up. Automatically rename that. I'll open scene 2 up. I'm just going to come here. I'm going to replace my image 1 with image 2. Then come here, hold down Alt and click and drag to replace. I finally have scene 1, scene 2 with the same kind of animation. I can come to the glass blur, and then I can just change the color of the tints, maybe to something like this, and I'll click OK, and if I play this, I have something like this. So maybe that is too harsh, or maybe I just drop this down a little bit. Take this, make it more of a light tint, blue tint. So now I've changed all of this. So I'll go back to my main comp, double click my main comp, then I'll drag my scene 2 here. So I'll just drag this to about 4 seconds. So I can reduce this to, let's say, 6 seconds. Let's just leave it to 80. So now I have scene 1, scene 2. So if I play this now, this is what I have. Okay, and then you now have this other one. So if you have more scenes, you can actually create more scenes, go into them, tweak them, and have varieties of animation, or of course varieties of pictures too as well, and you can make up a whole animation scene like that. But now we are not done. I'll go back to scene 1. I should have done this before I even duplicated this. I'll go back to scene 1. Then I'm going to create an adjustment layer because it's just standing still, which I don't really like. So I'll right click, go to new, then click on adjustment layer, click on this, and we'll rename this to zoom. Then come here, I'll add my transform properties here, which is what we've been using since. I'll click and drag and drop here. I'll come here, I'll click this, then the scale, I'll check this at 100, then maybe go to about 6 seconds. I'll make this 110. What I would do is it's just going to be scaling the whole scene, so it's not going to be standing still. But right now, all I'll do is I'll take this, copy it, then go to scene 2, and then I'll just paste it so it will have the same effect. Now I'll go back to my main scene. If I click tab, I can always go in and out of my composition. So I'll click and come here, and if I play this now, I have this cool scene. But then you need to add some assets to this to make it more fun. So the very first thing I'll add is the scratches. So I'll open up my video. I'm going to come here and drop my scratches here. This is just what this does. It's just some scratches, and it's really look cool. So basically what I'll do, I'll toggle switches and mode. I'll just change the blend mode to screen. Then one other thing I would like to add is the light leaks. So if I click and drag and drop here, you can see what it's doing. You just have this color varieties moving there and there. So what we need to do is to come here, change the blend mode for this to screen as well. You can see it has added some really colorful stuff going on here. So I'll click this, duplicate, then I would like to flip it because it seems as if it's showing just here alone. Press S. You can either do S scale and do minus on the X axis, or you can just click on this, right click, go to transform, and then flip horizontally. So it will flip, and then we have it on this underside. If I just scroll over this, can you see what's going on? But what I'll do for it to look a little bit different is just make this start maybe earlier. So I'm just dragging it to the left so that it could look at least a little bit different. Now from the beginning, can you see that it's appearing from the beginning? So all I need to do is to just apply some opacity animation to all of this. Select, hold down shift to select all of this, press T, then select this, click on that and move this here and change it to 0. And if I play, I have this cool scene, but then you realize that this cut off somewhere here. So all I need to do is click here, duplicate, then just drag this, press U, drag this to where this will reveal here, and you can just end your animation at 4 seconds basically. So if I take my time indicator back and then I play this, we have this cool animation. Before we go, let's just do some color correction. So I'll right click, go to new, adjustment layer. I'll name this CC for color correction, select, and I'll come here and type curves and drop it here. Then I can just drag this down a little bit, just a little bit darker, just increase the contrast a little bit. Then I'll go to the blue channel here and I'll just bump this up a little bit so it will look more cool, right? So this is without the color correction, this is with the color correction. So I'm going to duplicate this, my adjustment layer, duplicate it, and I'm going to name it vignette. I'm going to delete the curves adjustment on this, and I'm just going to come here and type CC vignette. It's under stylize, so I'll click this and then I'll drop here. It's going to put the center as the focus and every other thing here a little bit dark, but on the effect I'll just increase the pin light so that the center will be bright. Increase the pin light to the fullest, then increase the amount here to about, let's say, 145. Can you see the edges are becoming darker and the angle, every other thing here seems to be fine. So just click out, and if I play this now, so this is what we have, and we are done with this slideshow. I really hope you enjoyed that, and don't forget this is a series, so if you have not seen the first episode, I would advise you go and check it out, and then watch out for the rest of the series. Like I said, the course project file is in the link in the description, so you know the drill. Make sure you like if you really do like this video. Subscribe if you are yet to subscribe. That's the only way you can actually help this channel and then get to see more content from me. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.